is open because I was using the same book for the other group. So document is shown there. Yeah, the word is for Zagan, Vasu?
Yeah. Yeah. Next year I need to apply for German citizenship.
After
So
3-4 years, huh?
yeah, it's 5 years now. The thing
Mm-hmm.
is, they need my birth certificate.
Yeah,
I don't have a birth certificate.
get one made, notarize it and get it made.
No, now the process is totally different and it takes 10 months. Even if you pay money in India, particularly in Tamil Nadu. And so I got a call from my RTO yesterday, so that's the reason I left early. And now I am initiating, so it may take 1 year to get my birth certificate.
Wait. RTO means?
Our revenue office.
RTO in normally is used for
Normally, it
your
is for
Transport.
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 This
Yeah.
is then RDO, then revenue department something.
Okay. So what,
I'll
I
tell
don't
you.
know how.
I'll check.
Yeah.
My birth certificate had a spelling mistake. I mean, my father's name was in French spelling,
Uh,
and now I asked to change it to English. So it's over a year. It's almost a year. Still, the case is in the court. They told so many things. You go
Omar,
there, come back. Yes, sir. I'm telling about my experience in Pondicherry. I'm
you
just
try
telling about birth certificate.
get your certificate translated into English and get that authorized.
Yes, sir, but they're telling we have to uh, put a case and through lawyer only we can do. So I'm trying with the lawyer and still it is not been done. They tell they lost the papers, again I have to resubmit. There are so many front and back happening. It's tough,
Listen,
especially when it comes to birth certificate. Yeah.
this is all bureaucracy. Do you have a
Sir, it's called
school leaving
Revenue
certificate?
Divisional Office, RDO.
Ah, do you?
Okay.
Yeah, I think Revenue Division Office. Omar, do
Okay.
you have a school leaving certificate?
I
Yes,
have.
sir. I have everything. I have a proper Aadhaar card, voter ID,
Right.
ration card.
The
Everything is
school,
fine.
the
Only
school
birth
leaving
certificate.
certificate, the school
Yeah.
leaving certificate also functions as a certificate of birth or proof of birth.
Yeah.
You
In
can
India,
submit.
but definitely not in Ausland Ramt in Germany.
Uh, Sometimes in the olden days, for example, many of the olden days, the births were not recorded.
Even sir, even
Yeah.
well, up
We are
to
very
last
old
year,
actually.
the rule
True. Very true.
was before the kids who born before 1980,
Yeah,
it was not required.
yeah.
But now they say we need to bring it. That's all. Whether you have or not, say yes or no. That's all. No explanations.
I don't have a birth certificate. Simple. I
Now,
don't have
if you
one.
apply for German citizen, definitely you need to have it. And
In those days, in
Government of
those
India has
days,
a
it was
process for
never
that.
issued.
Now,
It was not issued. Those days, lots of lacunae were there. There were lots of
that's right.
lacunae. And I
Now they are
can't be blamed for the lacunae of the government.
that's
For
what
the
they say.
lacunae,
Government is
I'm
telling
not responsible.
it was my mistake. Government is telling it was my mistake. Now we have a process to set right it. Please abide. That's all.
Since I don't have one right now, I get a notarized certificate.
That will not be accepted by German
Yeah.
consulate.
Yeah. They are
Simple.
telling localization
And
in India,
from
they
what I
won't
have
accept.
seen, here, there are many people here who have submitted notarized certificates after I had translated and authorized the translation. They were
That's right.
accepted.
No, in
So many
Frankfurt,
people
I
like
have to.
this
I have
gathering
right
stand,
now.
they just walk
Right
in.
now, I have two examples. With
Mhm.
one case, even consulate in Frankfurt, consulate in Berlin, Indian
Mhm.
consulate,
Yeah,
they issue a birth certificate.
yeah,
They say, as per our documents,
yeah,
his date of birth is so and so.
yeah.
They are giving with our that lion, our Indian government emblem logo,
Right. Ashoka emblem. Yeah,
yeah, Ashoka emblem. So
yeah.
for one case in Reutlingen, they accepted
Uh,
that as a birth certificate.
yeah,
And in another office, another Rathos in Stuttgart,
yeah.
they rejected and they say get it from your local town hall, Rathos of India.
It's very convenient to prolong. Yeah, I understand that. That is the other
So what happened is here now the process is we need to go and tell the municipality, local municipality, I have not registered my birth by mistake. Please give me a birth certificate. Then they'll say they'll take their own sweet time, and after that they'll issue a one certificate called NAC or NTC, not traceable certificate. We are not able to find your birth in our records.
Yeah,
Then
it's
I
a
need to
nice
take this
system.
certificate. Yeah, I need
Yeah,
to take this certificate, go to RDO, and I can register in RDO court. This is a certificate given by corporation. Now, please
yeah,
tell me, please ask them to register a birth. Then RDO will make they'll ask my date, date of birth, place of birth, everything. This local VAO will go and inquire there,
yeah,
and they'll come back and they'll give to RTO that yes, this fellow has given birth on this day and on this place. We have
yeah,
inquired. Then
yeah. Again,
RDO is
Gone on
issuing a
that.
certificate on order to corporation. RDO,
that is
local Tahsildar is issuing an order. Please issue a birth certificate to him as per the detail.
that
Then
is the
corporation will
procedure.
issue me a certificate.
That is the procedure now.
Yeah.
And in this procedure, lots of people make lots of money. Once a process has been initiated, you will be the person trying to trace your certificate or keep track of your certificate.
Yeah.
So, which means you will be looking after the economy of many middlemen.
Absolutely right. I started that process yesterday. I changed a lot of euros to Indian INR. I'm keeping it ready.
It's nothing but troubling the citizens. This process of registering births and deaths and all these things, shortly after the British regime left India, they left the administrative system also in tatters. To rebuild took time.
Yeah.
What they gave us was their own administrative system, which India had to take because there was nothing else. You can't simply, draw a line and say that is Pakistan, this is India. And that was how India was divided, literally. Somebody's pen stroke has caused all the problems that we have today. So I'm not trying to say the British are at fault. Well, they may have been, they could have been, they are maybe. But this is how things were decided, and there was definitely malice aforethought when they divided the country and pushed off. By then they had looted what they wanted to loot. So we were left with a tattered system all around. So building that up is not easy. There's so many things. There were many of us who, Indians of that time, who did not know what administration was about. They never let any of the top people into the administration. Very
Yes, sir.
few people were at the top who knew what is administration. But then how do you filter that down to the lower level, which is the workforce for you?
This is another topic
If
we
I were
don't teach
clerking
us
in
in
the
school,
office,
sir. Very
yeah,
well.
so we had lots of problems. My birth is not registered. I only know I was born in King George's Hospital in Visakhapatnam. That's all I know. There is no registered birth certificate. If there was one, it was never ever registered. My proof of birth or the birth certificate that I've always used throughout has been my school certificate. The same school certificate I submitted to get a passport. Now I use my passport to show my proof of birth or the date of birth.
Yeah.
Date and place of birth is mentioned in my passport.
Yeah,
That for me
passport
is my
should be.
official document. That is my official document.
Another issue what we are facing, particularly South Indians, the name issue, because we don't have that culture of Kushi
Yeah.
Gupta.
Surnames. Yes,
That
we don't have surnames. Very true.
that so it was very difficult to establish the relation between me, my wife, my two sons. We have four different names. They are asking, show me one name as your family name.
don't worry about it. That's how it is, and you just follow your custom. But to avoid future problems, I made sure that my family name is not there on my daughter's passport. She uses my name, my given name, as her surname.
Yeah, that's what. Now it is changed. Vasudevan, because my sons have Vasudevan and my wife has Vasudevan and I have Vasudevan. So henceforth, Vasudevan will be the common name, will be carried out like George Bush, Bush 1, Bush 2, Bush 3, like that.
It's very, very odd. When your culture does not permit it, why should you change your culture to accommodate somebody else's thing?
I'm not changing my culture, but I'm ensuring we have this culture. Vasudevan Iyengar, that Iyengar was the family name was there.
Yeah. The same
We
is
removed
there.
it in between. Now we are suffering.
It varies from place to place, community to community, state to state. In Andhra, the culture is different.
You keep your village name along with you, like
No,
some places.
it's the family name or the profession or whatever that comes as the first initial.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So only Tamilians having this problem, sir.
No,
Because
it's not a
they.
problem. I don't look at it as a problem. Gar nicht. Das ist ein Missverständnis. Und dieses Missverständnis ist überall in Indien missverstanden.
So
That's what
the
I
Hindu, the
feel
other
that
people,
Indian means
yeah.
I agree, sir. Indian, if it is all Indians having the same issues, then I agree. But they isolate Tamil people always like you don't have a surname. The
No,
Telugu
no,
people having.
exactly, Uma, you are right. When I said this is the way in India we use
So,
our we write our names. Then he clearly quoted, see, this fellow is having a name Sharma. In all his family name, Sharma is carried out.
Yeah, it's very
Like that,
easy.
you show me one name. I said, though, this is in North India. Oh, then he said, okay, in India you have different pattern, naming pattern. Yes, that took 1 hour for me to convince the Rathos people. And finally, I established a relationship one way. I showed my wife name in my passport.
yeah,
In
that
my
is the
wife
only
passport,
way.
I showed my name. So we established our relationship. Then
Yeah.
in my son's passport, we have parents' name. Our both the names are there in my son's passports. Then all
That's
the passports I kept in the put it in the table. Then I explained him. See, you can see all the four names in these four passports, one or another. Then she got convinced. Then she issued me a registration
don't
certificate.
worry, don't worry, because this problem that you are talking about is there even abroad.
Everywhere, everywhere.
Ah, yes, sir. Yeah.
See,
No, no,
every
that's the thing.
country, it's there even
Absolutely, that's
abroad.
the thing. I want to share with the people who are youngsters here in this group. When you are moving out to a please
Like sir
ensure.
told, we should not see it as a problem. Instead, we just have to carry that documents along with us. That's
That's
That's it.
right. We need to be prepared. Yeah, you
yeah,
just
prepared.
equip
That's all.
yourself
We should
to
not portray
establish.
like as it is a problem.
Yeah,
Instead,
challenge.
yeah,
I never use
not
the word.
even challenge.
I
So
never
these
use
are
the
the
word
basic
problem. I say
information
challenge.
we should provide it to them so that they
Yeah.
get they understand us.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Totally, I have taken 20 minutes of your
That's
time. You can take it.
that's
Yeah,
that's
Mute my mic.
diese Missverständnisse gibt es überall. Die
yeah.
Kultur
Next
ist
question.
anders. Die Kultur ist nicht gleich. Und natürlich, wenn die Kultur und Verstehensweise nicht gleich ist und unser Sprechpartner ist dazu nicht bereit oder dazu nicht fähig, die andere Kultur zu verstehen, dann können wir nichts tun. We can't do a damn thing about it. If the other person doesn't want to accept your culture, and I'm not talking just of names, lots of other things. If he's not in a position to understand, he's not capable of understanding, why is it like this in your culture? Very funny? Yeah, it may be funny to you, but it's ganz normal. Excuse me, you're hurting me by saying that. Or I've been already hurt when you say that it's funny. My culture is not funny. So when it comes to that, there are certain things which are being followed traditionally. Many of these rituals have lost meaning. We verstehen this thing. There was a reason behind these rituals. Today we all talk about attached bathroom, toilet right next to the dining room. attached toilet. Earlier, a toilet, hygiene point of view, you had to walk outside the house. There was no toilet inside the house. You had to walk outside. There was a separate room for it outside, 100 yards, 100 feet or 200 feet away from the main house because of hygiene. Now what hygiene? Attached toilet.
And detached families.
Family is detached anyway. Long time ago. Yeah, there's so many things. And everyone wants an attached bath and an attached toilet. So from the point of view of hygiene, we have been very, very hygienic right from our early times. Also, when you say missverstehen, hier ist ein Missverständnis. Also was in diesem Audio uns vorkommt. Ich hoffe, dass das Audio uns allen klar ist. So, hier. Ja.
Kapitel 1. Heimat ist. Modul 3. Missverständliches. Aufgabe 1a. Wir hatten mal Besuch von einem Freund aus Frankreich, der ist mit dem Flugzeug zu uns gekommen und hat sich dann am Flughafen ein Taxi genommen. Ja, also da standen ja genug Taxis rum. Er ist in eines eingestiegen, hat sich nett mit dem Fahrer unterhalten und dann, als er bei uns angekommen ist, ist er ausgestiegen, hat dem Fahrer freundlich gedankt und nochmal Tschüss gesagt. Und dann wollte er zu uns ins Haus. Tja, nur der Taxifahrer, der hatte sein Geld noch nicht bekommen und stand da etwas verwirrt rum. Unserem Freund war das Ganze dann schrecklich peinlich, denn am Flughafen hat er ein großes Schild am Taxistand gesehen, da stand Taxi frei drauf. Ja, nur schade, dass mit dem Schild das Halteverbot gemeint war, das eben nicht für Taxis gilt.
Habt ihr das verstanden oder war das zu schnell?
Ja.
Ja, warte, die anderen bitte.
Ja, Sir.
Habt ihr alle das verstanden?
Nein, Sir.
Nein, Sir.
So, noch einmal.
Kapitel 1. Heimat ist. Modul 3. Missverständliches. Aufgabe 1a. Wir hatten mal Besuch von einem Freund aus Frankreich, der ist mit dem Flugzeug zu uns gekommen und hat sich dann am Flughafen ein Taxi genommen. Ja, also da standen ja genug Taxis rum. Er ist in eines eingestiegen, hat sich nett mit dem Fahrer unterhalten und dann, als er bei uns angekommen ist, ist er ausgestiegen, mit dem Fahrer freundlich gedankt und nochmal Tschüss gesagt. Und dann wollte er zu uns ins Haus. Tja, nur der Taxifahrer, der hatte sein Geld noch nicht bekommen und stand da etwas verwirrt rum. Unserem Freund war das Ganze dann schrecklich peinlich, denn am Flughafen hat er ein großes Schild am Taxistand gesehen, da stand Taxi frei drauf. Tja, nur schade, dass mit dem Schild das Halteverbot gemeint war, das eben nicht für Taxis gilt.
Ja, immer noch nicht?
Ja, aber ich
Because like
nicht
Harvey
verstanden,
does
wieso
say.
hat er das Geld nicht bekommen?
Wer hat das Geld nicht bekommen?
Taxifahrer.
Der Taxifahrer. Warum nicht?
Ja, das habe ich nicht verstanden.
No, the
Okay, die anderen?
das Taxi is frei.
Ja, taxi stand ist frei, vielleicht. Taxi ist frei.
Ist das wahr? Wirklich? War das Taxi frei? Kostenlos?
Nein.
Nein.
Nicht kostenlos.
Ja, also was war das Problem? Was war dann das Missverständnis?
Kann ich sagen?
War so ein kleiner Moment. Ich spiele das noch einmal und in Stücken und mal sehen, ob...
Kapitel 1.
Ja.
Heimat ist. Modul 3. Missverständliches. Aufgabe 1a. Wir hatten mal Besuch von einem Freund aus Frankreich, der ist mit dem Flugzeug zu uns gekommen und hat sich dann am Flughafen ein Taxi genommen. Ja, also da standen ja genug Taxis rum. Er ist in
Okay, so far?
Ja.
Ja, Sir.
Yes, sir.
eins eingestiegen, hat sich nett mit dem Fahrer unterhalten und dann, als er bei uns angekommen ist, ist er ausgestiegen, hat dem Fahrer freundlich gedankt und nochmal Tschüss gesagt.
Okay?
Yeah.
Ja.
Dann wollte er zu uns ins Haus. Tja, nur der Taxifahrer, der hatte sein Geld noch nicht bekommen.
Also der Taxifahrer hat sein Geld noch nicht bekommen. Okay?
Stand da etwas verwirrt rum. Unserem Freund war das Ganze dann schrecklich peinlich, denn am Flughafen hat er ein großes Schild am Taxistand gesehen, da stand Taxi frei. Geld noch nicht bekommen und stand da etwas verwirrt rum. Unserem Freund war das Ganze dann schrecklich peinlich, denn am Flughafen hat er ein großes Schild am Taxistand gesehen, da stand Taxi frei.
Da stand Taxi frei.
Right, yes.
Schild. Er hat ein Schild gesehen.
Ja.
Ja, ein Schild gesehen. Was ist ein Schild?
Sign.
So,
Sign.
Shield.
Shield is a
Shield.
board,
Shield.
kind of board.
Board.
Board, ja.
Und auf dem Schild stand Taxi frei.
Oh. Ja, nur schade, dass mit dem Schild das Halteverbot gemeint war, das eben nicht für Taxis gilt.
Not for the taxi girl. That was not for the taxi girl.
No, actually, normalerweise,
Ja, Vasu?
da verboten alle andere Wagen, außer den Taxis. Taxi frei bedeutet, Taxi, wir können parken unserem Taxi da, nicht unserem eigenen Wagen.
Auf dem Schild stand Taxi frei.
Frei. Bedeutet,
Aber das Schild war ein Halteverbot.
für andere Wagen.
Ja, ein Halteverbot für die anderen Wagen, für die anderen Autos, aber nicht für Taxis. Also Taxis konnten dort frei, kostenlos, ohne Probleme stehen.
Bedeutet, das Platz ist für Taxis.
Also erlaubt nur für Taxis. Halten
Erlaubt,
am
okay.
Flughafen ist nur für Taxis erlaubt. Also für Taxis ist diese Haltestelle frei. Frei hier bedeutet nicht kostenlos, sondern ja,
Halten.
der Platz ist frei.
Platz frei.
Ja, zum Halten ist es frei. They can freely
Halten.
stop here. Ja.
Stop.
Taxis can stop here freely, no problem. The police won't ask the taxis to move away from there. Taxis can stop freely on their own. Any taxi can stop here, but not other cars. The other cars going to the airport have to be parked in the proper parking place.
Parkplatz.
So taxi frei, just wait at the board. There will be some taxi which will come and stop, and you can take that. Normally abroad, at many places, the taxis are allowed to park right at the exit point of the airport. In India, normally the taxis are not allowed at the exit point. They're a little further away from the exit point, but you will find them, definitely. Delhi airport, for example, as soon as you leave the airport, you have to cross the foyer, the main foyer, and after crossing the foyer, you go ahead a little. The road starts in where the cars come in to stop. Just after that first, it's a covered stand. Just after the covered stand, you have the taxis. Behind that are the private taxis, and further down, pick up and leave.
But I think Hyderabad airport is like Germany. So near to the exit, our taxis are going. So
Yeah, but the taxis are not allowed to park there.
yeah, they cannot park, but they can come and drop or pick.
Yeah, but if you go to Istanbul, for example, or any other countries outside, or Portugal,
They
Lisbon,
park.
yeah, taxis are allowed to park right near the exit.
Okay, here, okay, in this Sendung kann ich nicht ein Punkt verstehen.
Hmm?
So here, von wem the Taxifahrer the Gebühr bekommen?
Von dem Passagier, hat das
But
später bekommen. Hat das
but
später
here
bekommen.
here he got dropped and he said thank you. The taxifahrer said thank you
Yeah.
and he went.
So who
But
went?
from the taxi driver.
No, the taxi driver didn't go. The passenger went into the house, into my house. So uns.
Then he was okay. So he was waiting for money then.
Yeah,
Okay.
ja, naturally. So, ich spiele das noch einmal.
Kapitel 1. Heimat ist Modul 3. Missverständliches. Aufgabe 1a. Wir hatten mal Besuch von einem Freund aus Frankreich, der ist mit dem Flugzeug zu uns gekommen und hat sich dann am Flughafen ein Taxi genommen. Ja, also da standen ja genug Taxis rum. Er ist in eines eingestiegen, hat sich nett mit dem Fahrer unterhalten und dann, als er bei uns angekommen ist, ist er ausgestiegen, dem Fahrer freundlich gedankt und nochmal Tschüss gesagt. Und dann wollte er zu uns ins Haus. Tja, nur der Taxifahrer, der hatte sein Geld noch nicht bekommen und stand da etwas verwirrt rum.
Er stand da etwas verwirrt um. He just stood there verwirrt. Verwirrt bedeutet confused. Totally perplexed, astonished, confused. The taxi driver simply stood there. Der Passagier hat Tschüss gesagt und ist ins Haus gekommen.
Got it, ja. Er haltet, ja.
So, Sie
Ja.
haben gesagt, dass Taxi können da frei parken.
Ja.
Aber they can also take the passenger free of cost.
Why should they take anybody free of
Then-
cost? Excuse me, Khushi. Why
Yes,
should a
sir,
taxi
that's
driver?
yes, sir, that's the reason. But in this audio, the passenger has traveled to his house and he hasn't taken the taxi fare, hasn't taken any money.
He has not
That's
taken
why-
money.
that's the
Sorry,
thing.
wait a minute.
And he was
Vasu,
waiting.
No. Oh, no. Vasu, it's not that question. She has misunderstood the whole thing. It's not a question of his taking the money. He has not been paid the money.
Okay.
As soon as you get out of the taxi, the passenger pays the money. The taxi driver does not ask for the money. Only in India they have to ask because many of the passengers want to get away free.
Okay, sir, understand.
Abroad, the taxi driver does not ask you for that. The passenger pays as soon as the passenger gets off or just before getting off, the passenger is ready with the money.
Okay.
The word taxi itself means a car for hire. That is the meaning
Yes,
of
sir,
the word
that's the reason.
So it's not a question of the father not taking money. It's a question of father not getting money, not being given money.
Yes, sir.
So er stand da verwirrt, confused. The passenger coolly walked into the house.
Yeah.
Und der ist auch aus Frankreich. Das ist ein Freund aus Frankreich.
Frankreich, der ist mit dem Flugzeug.
So,
Wir hatten mal Besuch von einem Freund aus Frankreich.
von dem Freund aus Frankreich. Also ein Ausländer in Deutschland. Das ist also ein Franzose in Deutschland.
Der ist mit dem Flugzeug zu uns gekommen und hat sich dann am Flughafen ein Taxi genommen. Ja, also da standen ja genug Taxis rum. Er ist in eines eingestiegen, hat sich nett mit dem Fahrer unterhalten und dann, als er bei uns angekommen ist, ist er ausgestiegen, dem Fahrer freundlich gedankt und nochmal Tschüss gesagt. Und dann wollte er zu uns ins Haus. Ja, nur der Taxifahrer, der hatte sein Geld noch nicht bekommen und stand da etwas verwirrt rum. Unserem Freund war das Ganze dann schrecklich peinlich.
See, our friend felt terribly pained when he was told he has to pay. Oh, why should I pay? It says taxi frei. And then he was told,
Am Flughafen hat er ein großes Schild am Taxistand gesehen, da stand Taxi frei drauf. Ja, nur schade, dass mit dem Schild das Halteverbot gemeint war, das eben nicht für Taxis gilt.
so das Schild war ein Halterverbot für die anderen, aber nicht für Taxis. It didn't mean free taxi.
Yeah, nicht vergebür.
See, it's a question of language. He has
No, no.
misunderstood the
The
language.
French guy does not understand anything except fry. He understands only fry.
The same thing in India also. Let's not criticize the French. When you say, please come and buy things at our shop, they are freely available. It doesn't mean they are being given away free. It means we have enough stock and you can come buy what you want. So freely available doesn't mean they are cost and loss.
No. In the language, they don't understand any other word, but they understand only fry.
The same thing in India
It's
also.
irony.
It's also in India. Anything free, you should see the queues that form outside.
No,
So,
I taught a very tough lesson to a taxi driver in Delhi. I was supposed to stay in my friend's house,
yeah.
and the friend's house he gave me a landmark, a hotel name.
Hmm.
So the moment I got down from the New Delhi railway station, a taxi fellow asked me, "Where do you want to go?"
Hmm.
I said the hotel name.
Hmm.
Normally there is a practice. The taxi fellows they get the fare from the hotel.
Hmm.
It's a commission to them. So this taxi fellow said, "Okay, I'll drop you at free of cost."
Hmm.
Then I boarded the taxi. He dropped me at the hotel. I took the luggage because my friend's house is just opposite to the hotel. I crossed the road. I entered my friend's house. The
Hmm.
taxi fellow came behind me. Hey, why are you going this side? I said, this is where I'm going to stay. No. You said the hotel name. Yes, hotel name is the landmark. Oh, no. No. If you go to your friend's house, he will not pay me money. If you go to the hotel, then only hotel will pay me money. Please go to the hotel.
Well, poor guy had a problem. He had a problem. I could have helped him out. In your place, I would have done that. I would have stood at the reception. I would have waited at the reception. Once the taxi fellow took his fare, I would have walked out of the hotel.
No, I don't want to cheat anyone. I did not know this practice there at that time.
No, it's always been there. It's always been there. They always call people they know and they are tied up with. I've had that thing, but then it's okay. I've also gone on official trips. When the hotel is paying or when the office is paying, I've never bargained with a taxi guy. In any case, there's a meter. And of course, I do know the meters are manipulated. But yeah, sowas ist okay. Ab und zu
Good
mal.
experience. Yeah. Okay, good.
Ja? So, jetzt, wenn wir look at this Missverständnis, es gibt solche Missverständnisse überall. Und zum Beispiel auch hier, nee, nicht hier. Ja.
So, Sie teilen nicht das Bildschirm.
Really? I forgot? Don't tell me. But I'm
It's only
recording.
audio. No issues.
Yeah. At least audio was audible. Huh?
Yeah.
Audio may not be visible, but it was audible. Definitely. Okay. Danke, Kushi. Vielen Dank. Yeah. Yes, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. So, now when you talk about these Missverständnisse, es gibt so viele. So viele. Und man versteht das einfach nicht, weil man aus dieser Kultur nicht stammt oder man keine Ahnung von dieser Kultur hat. Das kann nicht nur im Ausland passieren, das kann auch hier zu Hause in Indien passieren. It can happen even here. So mit diesen Missverständnissen muss man immer rechnen. You have to take this into account, that there could be a problem. Und woran oder wie wie kommt es zu diesen Missverständnissen? Erstens Kultur, zweitens die Sprache. Wenn man die Sprache nicht gut kann, gibt es wieder Missverständnisse. So hier, das war die Sprache, die das Problem verursacht hat. That had caused this problem. So wenn man die Sprache nicht kann, Die Kultur ist was anderes. Wenn man die Sprache nicht kann, ist das ein großes Problem. Ein sehr großes Problem. So there are examples here. I'll play one more for you. Also wo gab es Missverständnisse? Einen Moment. So jetzt weiter.
Vor 2 Jahren habe ich an einem Schüleraustausch mit Japan teilgenommen. Ich war 2 Wochen zu Gast bei einer sehr lieben und netten Familie, zu der ich auch heute noch Kontakt habe, obwohl ich gleich am Anfang in ein dickes Fettnäpfchen getreten bin. Am ersten Tag, als ich angekommen bin, hat mir die Familie ihr kleines Haus gezeigt und auch einen wunderschönen kleinen Garten. Ich war total begeistert von diesem Garten, habe gleich die Tür nach draußen aufgerissen und bin durch den Garten gelaufen und habe die ein oder andere Pflanze angefasst. Irgendwann habe ich dann gemerkt, dass die anderen alle noch im Haus standen und mich sehr komisch angeschaut haben. Später hat sich dann herausgestellt, dass dieser Garten nicht zum Rumlaufen gedacht war, sondern zum Ansehen. Und ich mit meinem Rumrennen und Rumhüpfen habe natürlich diesen Ort der Ruhe und Entspannung aus japanischer Sicht recht respektlos behandelt.
Also in welchem Land ist dieses Missverständnis passiert?
Japan.
In Japan.
Ja.
Okay, so das haben wir verstanden. Das war in Japan und nicht in Europa. Aber woher kommt diese Frau?
Sie kommt aus Deutschland.
Ja, wahrscheinlich aus Deutschland. Ne? If you have not heard it, you can still make out she's from Germany. Okay. Was war hier falsch gemacht? Was hat sie hier falsch gemacht? Did you catch that?
Sie hat gedacht, dass die Garten für Spaziergang ist, aber sie ist nur für Ansehen.
Ja, der Garten. Aber der Garten ist nur zum Ansehen und sich zu entspannen, to relax. Also die Japaner haben eine andere Ansicht von Gärten. They have a different view of gardens. A garden is not a place to run around, hop around, touch the flowers, touch the plants. It's a place to walk slowly, meditate, think, calm down, relax oneself. Und das hat diese Person nicht gewusst. Ja, das hat sie gesagt. Also ich spiele das noch einmal.
Vor 2 Jahren habe ich an einem Schüleraustausch mit Japan teilgenommen. Ich war 2 Wochen zu Gast bei einer sehr lieben und netten Familie, zu der ich auch heute noch Kontakt habe, obwohl ich gleich am Anfang in ein dickes Fettnäpfchen getreten bin. Am ersten Tag, als ich angekommen bin, hat mir die Familie ihr kleines Haus gezeigt und auch einen wunderschönen kleinen Garten. Ich war total begeistert von diesem Garten, habe gleich die Tür nach draußen aufgerissen und bin durch den Garten gelaufen und habe die ein oder andere Pflanze angefasst. Irgendwann habe ich dann gemerkt, dass die anderen alle noch im Haus standen und mich sehr komisch angeschaut haben. Später hat sich dann herausgestellt, dass dieser Garten nicht zum Rumlaufen gedacht war, sondern zum Ansehen. Und ich mit meinem Rumrennen und Rumhüpfen habe natürlich diesen Ort der Ruhe und Entspannung aus japanischer Sicht recht respektlos behandelt.
Did you get it now?
Es war ein Schulumtauschenprogramm und sie war vor 2 Tagen in Japan. Und ja, sie hat diese komische komische
Ereignis.
Ereignis. Okay.
Ja. Ja.
Gut.
Ja, was hat sie gemacht? Was hat sie denn? Also
Ja, sie hat eben sogar momentan, sie hat
ja,
gut
die Japaner,
Kontakt
die Japaner haben sie einen Garten gezeigt.
jetzt.
Und der Garten war sehr hübsch und diese Deutsche, sie ging einfach in den Garten. Und da hat sie dann gehupft und gesprungen und alles gemacht. Und dann fiel ihr erst später ein, it later struck her, das war total respektlos. Eigentlich war der Garten nur für Ruhe gemeint. Da sagt sie ganz am Ende.
Vor 2 Jahren habe ich an einem Schüler aus, dass dieser Garten nicht zum Rumlaufen gedacht war, sondern zum Ansehen. Und ich mit meinem Rumrennen und Rumhüpfen habe natürlich diesen Ort der Ruhe und Entspannung aus japanischer Sicht recht respektlos behandelt.
Sie? Das war nur zum Ansehen gemeint. Das hat sie nicht gewusst.
Ja,
But it's
manchmal
Ja.
haben wir Probleme mit diesem Japanischer. Wenn sie kommt nach Deutschland, wenn sie nach Deutschland kommt, wann wir
Kommen.
haben kommen,
Die Japaner, ne? Ja.
Japaner.
Also Kultur ist anders.
Manchmal in einem Zimmer bleiben wir 20 oder 30 Leute. Diesem Japanischer macht oder grüßt individually, one by one. How do you say individually?
Ja, also jede Person. Sie grüßen, sie begrüßen jede Person. Die Japaner. Japaner.
30 times he'll bow 30 times to one. So
Yes.
that consumes time, and all these Germans, they become impatient.
They do. That is, I've used these in cross-cultural examples. When you're communicating with Germans and Japanese and people from other nations, you have to pay attention to the culture. You don't start business with a Japanese at 10 o'clock. You start business with the Japanese at around 11 o'clock. You meet on the dot punctually at 10 o'clock. But that 1 hour in between, Vasu, like you said, we greet each other. If my team has got 30 people and the other team has 30 people, I ensure every one of my team members has greeted every one of the other team members individually, one-on-one. Not hello, alle, no, everyone. That is the Japanische Kultur. And then comes the talk about the well-being of the person concerned, the well-being of the family. After you've finished all these formalities, then you get down to business.
See, that too, 30 times bowing.
Yeah.
Every time. So
that's okay. That is Indian custom. It's Indian custom. You, when you get married or when you're seeking the blessing of the elders, you have to go to each and every elder to seek their blessings.
That is right, sir, but not in the meeting in the office.
It is the same thing here. It is something similar. There is no office, no home. These customs have to be followed. I've even joked about it with my parents and the other seniors in the family. I said, see, every time I stand up and bend down and touch your feet and come up and think, I have no objection to doing that, but my back hurts. So I would say, all the seniors stand in a queue. I will start from one end of the queue and touching your feet, I'll go till the end of the queue.
Just one rotation.
One line, it's over. I touch feet for everybody and go to the end of the queue. My mother was very upset with that.
I got shocked when I went to Germany in 2014. I had a meeting with my vendors.
Yeah.
And we were 6 people, and they came for a presentation. And this, in fact, he was a CFO of the company, and he came and just he took his business card and he just gave it with his left hand. Normally in Indian culture, it is a disrespect when you give a visiting card in a left hand. I take it like this, and I was standing in the other side of the table. He just put the visiting card on the table and he just gave a twist. Yeah, also this is my business card. At that time itself, I decided, okay, I'm not going to place order to this guy. That's all. He lost business from me. But later I realized, but later I realized in Germany, throwing the visiting card with the left hand it's normal.
Because it's no big deal in that sense. It's no big deal. This action, when you flick it with your finger like this. This is called schnipsen. Schnipsen. Okay. So there are many such differences. Kleinigkeiten. Sometimes it's impossible to remember all of them, to know of all of them. Forget the remembering part. We don't know all these Kleinigkeiten. Und natürlich, wenn ein Japaner oder ein Koreaner nach Indien kommt oder ein Chinese nach Indien kommt, sie kommen mit ihrer Kultur und sie haben keine Ahnung von unserer Kultur. Gar keine Ahnung. So how do you expect them to know our culture when they have never ever visited our country? No one takes off a hat when they go into a church. But when you go into a temple, you have to take off your head covering. Women cover their heads, but the men are allowed to have to take off their head covering. They have to go bareheaded. You can't go in with a turban. Of course, slippers leaving outside is again another custom. You don't leave your shoes outside a church. You go in with your shoes and with your hat.
Only in Gurudwara, we need to go with covered head.
In Gurudwara, you have to cover your head. Both men and women. Then there are certain temples where you can't go in wearing a shirt.
Even in Srirangam today morning, just now.
Yeah, I know Padmanabha Swami temple in Thiruvananthapuram.
Yeah,
You will take off your shirt.
almost all Kerala temples. Yeah.
Right? You will take off your shirt. So the upper part of the body for men is to be bare. Women are not allowed inside wearing Western dresses. Women have to wear either saris or an Indian dress fully covered. So an Indian dress doesn't mean just a small blouse and a skirt or something where your midriff is showing. No, it has to be covered. I have my Martin Luther kind of doubts here. I would also like to form a Protestant Hinduism. But let's leave that aside. That's a question for discussion. So these are Traditionen, these are kulturelle Sachen. Wir sind diesen Sachen gar nicht bewusst. So,
Meine Freundin und ich, wir waren mal in Thailand im Urlaub am Strand. Ja, und am ersten Tag, als wir es uns gerade gemütlich gemacht hatten, kam ein älterer Mann mit einem Strandtuch und fragte uns, so dachten wir zumindest, ob er sich neben uns legen kann. Wir haben natürlich durch Handzeichen zu verstehen gegeben, klar, gerne, legen Sie sich ruhig hin, und ihn dann nicht weiter beachtet. Aber er sprach uns gleich darauf wieder an und forderte uns auf, doch auf seinem Handtuch Platz zu nehmen. Wir haben natürlich dankend abgelehnt und ihm gesagt, er soll sich doch hinlegen. Aber er hat immer wieder Zeichen gemacht, dass wir uns doch auf sein Handtuch legen sollen. Naja, wir haben eine ganze Weile freundlich versucht, ihm mit Handzeichen klarzumachen, dass wir uns nicht auf sein Handtuch legen wollen, dass er sich doch hinlegen soll. Wir haben schon gedacht, dass der ein bisschen spinnt und er ist irgendwann sichtlich genervt mit seinem Handtuch weitergezogen. Kurze Zeit später haben wir dann gesehen, dass es dort üblich war, den Touristen eine Massage anzubieten. Oh je, war uns das peinlich, dass wir das nicht kapiert hatten.
Ja, was ist hier passiert? Und wo, in welchem Land?
Thailand am Strand.
Ja.
Just past in Thailand am Strand.
Ja, es ist in Thailand passiert. Ja, und was ist dort passiert?
Ein alte Leute bietet Massage für diese Deutsche, aber sie kann nicht das verstehen und sie genießt das nicht.
Ja, das ist im Kurzen gesagt, aber mit ein paar mehreren Details. Kannst du das mit ein paar mehreren Details sagen? Noch etwas detailliert vielleicht?
Können wir hören einmal wieder?
Okay, ja, gerne. So.
Meine Freundin und ich, wir waren mal in Thailand im Urlaub am Strand. Ja, und am ersten Tag, als wir es uns gerade gemütlich gemacht hatten, kam ein älterer Mann mit einem Strandtuch und fragte uns, so dachten wir zumindest, ob er sich neben uns legen kann. Wir haben natürlich durch Handzeichen zu verstehen gegeben, klar, gerne, legen Sie sich ruhig hin, und ihn dann nicht weiter beachtet. Aber er sprach uns gleich darauf wieder an und forderte uns auf, doch auf seinem Handtuch Platz zu nehmen. Wir haben natürlich dankend abgelehnt und ihm gesagt, er soll sich doch hinlegen. Aber er hat immer wieder Zeichen gemacht, dass wir uns doch auf sein Handtuch legen sollen. Naja, wir haben eine ganze Weile freundlich versucht, ihm mit Handzeichen klarzumachen, dass wir uns nicht auf sein Handtuch legen wollen, dass er sich doch hinlegen soll. Wir haben schon gedacht, dass der ein bisschen spinnt, und er ist irgendwann sichtlich genervt mit seinem Handtuch weitergezogen. Kurze Zeit später haben wir dann gesehen, dass es dort üblich war, den Touristen eine Massage anzubieten. Oh je, war uns das peinlich, dass wir das nicht kapiert haben.
Okay. The altere Leute was eine Tour früher, oder ja, Touristen früher.
Nein, also
Ja,
das
ja,
ist,
er,
ja,
er
go ahead first.
bietet, ja, er bietet ein bisschen frei Massagiere. Normalerweise ist eine höfliche Aktivität oder Ausgabe im Thailand. So,
Frei,
eine
hast du
Massagiere.
frei gesagt? Frei ist das nicht.
Nein,
Das
nein,
kostet Geld.
ja, kostet aber normalerweise für Touristen. Es ist
Nein,
frei
das ist nicht so.
von.
Nein, gar nicht. Gar nicht. Gar nicht. Das ist die falsche Interpretation.
Okay.
Er hat einfach ein Handtuch neben dieses Ehepaar gelegt.
Handtuch, okay. Handtuch, okay, gut.
Am Anfang hat er also die Erlaubnis bekommen, darf ich hier mein Handtuch legen? Also das Ehepaar, Mann und Frau, sie haben ja gesagt. Also dieser ältere Mann, elderly, ja, not old, älterer ist elderly. Also dieser Mann, dann legt er das Handtuch neben das Ehepaar. Und dann bittet er das Ehepaar, dass einer von diesen beiden zuerst sich auf das Handtuch legt. Please, one of you come and lie down on this. Und die Deutschen haben das nicht verstanden, warum er das gesagt hat oder gemeint hat, und sie haben das natürlich abgelehnt. Abgelehnt. Ablehnen, to turn down, to refuse. Also dankend abgelehnt. Saying thanks, they refused. Er hat immer wieder versucht, dass einer von den beiden sich auf das Handtuch legt. That one of the two comes and lies down on the towel. Aber er hat das ständig, also das Ehepaar hat das ständig abgelehnt. Continually they refused. Nach einer Weile ist der Mann weg. Er ging weg. Und später haben die Deutschen, das Ehepaar, herausgefunden, das war eigentlich eine Massage. Er wollte die beiden eine Massage geben. Und das haben diese Leute nicht verstanden. Das ist also ein Missverständnis.
Aber Sir, er hat nicht gesagt.
Er hat gesprochen. Die Deutschen haben das nicht verstanden. Er hat in der lokalen Sprache, in Thai, gesprochen, nicht auf Deutsch.
Okay.
Don't expect people everywhere in the world to know English, although it is slowly spreading its tentacles worldwide. But don't expect locals in small places to know English. And even if they do know English, it will not be the same as what you know as English. So even then there will be misunderstandings. Ich gesproken, please lie down hier, mit durch Handzeichen und in der Sprache. Das wurde unverständlich. Und am Ende dachten die beiden, er spinnt, he's crazy, he's mad. He just put a towel beside us and says, please lie down on this towel. Pagal ho gaye. He's mad,
So
crazy.
normally,
Yeah, you're on a beach, on the sand, where you won't lie down on the sand. So there's a Zand or Handtuch or Zandtuch literally there, which is put on the sand, and you lie down on this, and I'll give you a massage. But you will agree or disagree only if you know what is asking you to do. Since you don't know what is asking you to do, the normal tendency is to say no, thank you. Das haben die Deutschen gemacht. I have had experience in Thailand with the Thai language. I'd gone to a university, Mahasarakam University, on the border of Thailand and Laos, to present a paper at one of the international conferences in Asia on translation. This was a few years ago. Landed in Bangkok, and from there I had to take another flight, reach this university. It was a very small town, Mahasarakam. From the airport, reach the hotel. And in the hotel, by the time I reached, it was quite late in night. That was because of an unfortunate event that happened to one of our group in Bangkok. I stayed back to look after that guy. The rest proceeded. I had no, anyway, that's a different thing. It was just out of humanitarian grounds I stayed back. None of the others wanted to help this fellow who suffered an epileptic fit.
okay.
Yeah, he went into an epileptic fit at the airport. A student from another university was also on this group. His entire group of his classmates, his university, just left him there and took the next flight and pushed him. So when I stayed back, the one more teacher of that university who looked at me said, okay, professor, I'll stay back to help you. Well, I should, because the student is of my university and not your university. So I will stay back. The rest happily pushed off. They left this boy just lying on the thing, doing that on the airport. I mean, this is how we behave.
It's a different topic, sir. We'll definitely speak. In fact, it's an opportunity for me to speak later point after, not in the class.
So reaching this Mahasarkam, one moment, reaching Mahasarkam late at night, I wanted to order food. I spoke to the waiter who came to the room. He spoke to me. I don't know what he said. He doesn't know what I said. He spoke. Hello. What do I respond to that? He spoke in Thai. I don't know what he said. It sounded something like this. What do you understand? And what does he understand when I speak in English, Hindi, Telugu, German, Urdu, Punjabi, Tamil, Telugu? What does he understand? Nichts. So with a great bit of difficulty, I managed to get some rice ordered from him. The menu card was in Thai. I managed to get some rice. But there were some black specks in the rice. I was very suspicious. God knows what octopus or what he had killed. Or some lizard or something he may have killed and put in that. Those people eat anything. It took me another hour. I finished my dinner at 1 o'clock at night after landing at the hotel at 10. With great difficulty, I found out that that black thing was some herbs that had been put. Otherwise, I would have gone hungry because I had not eaten since I landed in Bangkok at 4 a.m. And we are talking about in the morning. The whole day went in that hospital, and it was almost next day morning. So mit Sprachen, wenn man die Sprache nicht versteht, das ist wieder ein Problem. Und jetzt das letzte Audio. Ja, du wolltest was sagen?
No, you need
Ich war
not be
mal
panic about this epileptic fits. Point number one. And I'm secretary of my Trichy Indian Epileptic Association branch. So
Aha,
we
okay.
conduct lot of awareness campaign. And in your case, I say this is the best thing they helped you. Don't touch the patient. Don't disturb the patient.
No
That
one
is the
helped
best
me.
help they
I was
can do.
alone there. I was alone
That's all. That
until
is,
the
you are
dean.
fortunate. The boy was fortunate. The people, they think that they help. They put some spoon in their mouth to protect their tongue. All those things. They try to hold their hand. Sometimes they break their bone. When they are having this
Yeah,
fits attack, they try to hold their
yes,
hand and leg. They break their bone.
I'm
So the
aware of
best
that.
way is
Yes,
don't disturb. Yeah, that's right. So okay,
I
we'll
was
speak
aware
at
of
later
that.
point of time.
I was aware of that, and I told the people
Yeah.
around him, just don't touch him. Give him some space. Don't
Yes,
crowd around him.
that's right.
That's how I
30 to
came.
40 seconds, it will they'll settle down. Only help we can do is if they are having some spectacle, we need to remove the specs. That's all. Otherwise, don't disturb the patient. Leave the
No,
patient.
the boy didn't have any specs.
Fantastic. That is the best way we can do.
No.
And in fact, this is the first aid we can do for them. And this first aid is a lesson in Germany when we are going for these driving lessons. They teach this to all
Yeah,
drivers. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
that's there.
good.
That is again German culture. Ja, okay. So das letzte Audio jetzt. Missverständnisse.
Urlaub und bin da nur mit öffentlichen Verkehrsmitteln durchs Land.
Ja, ja.
Ich war mal in der Türkei im Urlaub und bin da nur mit öffentlichen Verkehrsmitteln durchs Land gefahren. Ich hatte vorher ein bisschen Türkisch gelernt, sodass ich ganz einfache Fragen stellen konnte, wie zum Beispiel, wohin ein Bus fährt, wo ein Hotel ist und so. Ich wollte nach Bursa und da habe ich am Busbahnhof einen Busfahrer gefragt, der seinen Bus schon gestartet hatte. Entschuldigung, fährt der Bus nach Bursa? Der Fahrer schaute mich an und sagte nichts. Ich frage ihn also nochmal, fährt der Bus nach Bursa? Und er sagt wieder nichts und hebt nur die Augenbrauen. Ich war dann schon langsam ungeduldig und habe ihn dann doch etwas genervt gefragt, fährt der Bus jetzt nach Bursa oder nicht? Und wieder hebt er nur die Augenbrauen. Ein anderer Fahrgast aus dem Bus hat dann wohl Mitleid mit mir gehabt und mir dann gesagt, nein, der Bus fährt nicht nach Bursa. Ich wusste halt nicht, dass Augenbrauen heben so viel wie Nein bedeutet.
How would you interpret this? Habt ihr verstanden, was hier los war?
Ja, das war nicht einfach.
Ja, wo war diese Frau?
Sie
Türkei.
war in
Türkei.
Und was wollte sie da machen?
Sie
Sie wollte nach Bursa gehen.
Ja, sie wollte nach Bursa fahren. Bursa ist ein kleiner Ort. Okay.
Ja.
Und womit fährt sie?
Mit
Bus.
dem Bus.
Bus.
Mit dem Bus.
Und diese Frau hat ein bisschen Türkisch gelernt.
Ja.
Also,
Ja.
Richtig.
sie fragte in der türkischen Sprache, fährt der Bus nach Bursa? Sie hat in der türkischen Sprache diese Frage gestellt. Und der Busfahrer
Deutsch.
sagte nichts. Nichts. Er hob die Augenbrauen so. So.
Mhm.
Das ist alles. So. Sie fragt immer wieder bekam die gleiche Reaktion. Die Augenbrauen hochheben. Und am Ende sagt eine andere Person ihr eigentlich, Augenbrauen heben bedeutet Nein.
Das ist neu.
Total neu.
Neureizen für uns. Ja.
Also kulturell, ja, die.
Augenbrauen. Was war Augenbrauen?
Raise your eyebrows.
Raise
Sir,
your eyebrows.
sogar die Sprache konnte ihr nicht helfen.
Er hat gar nicht gesprochen.
Ja.
So was ist mir in Hyderabad passiert. Zum ersten Mal, als ich nach Hyderabad kam. Ich wartete auf einen Bus und mein Onkel hat gesagt, an dieser Haltestelle, du bekommst einen Bus und einfach den Bus nehmen und zu mir kommen. Also der fährt direkt und ich warte auf dich, auf der Hauptstraße eigentlich. Ich habe gesagt, na gut. Und ich war an dieser Haltestelle und da ich zum ersten Mal nach Hyderabad gekommen war, wollte ich mir ein bisschen versichern. Und ich habe einen Passagier in dem Bus gefragt, fährt dieser Bus nach und so weiter und so weiter. Dieser Mann, der Passagier im Bus, sagte so. So, Kopfschütteln. Ich bin zurückgetreten. Okay. Dann kam der andere Bus, eine andere Linie, another route number. Ich habe auch die gleiche Frage gestellt. Die gleiche Reaktion mit dem Kopf. So. Bin wieder zurückgetreten. Mein Bruder war auch da. Und dann sagte mein Bruder ein bisschen komischerweise, deine Frage verstehen diese Leute nicht. Ich frage. Na gut, du fragst. Dann kam wieder ein anderer Bus, noch einmal eine andere Linie. Das wusste ich nicht. Also mein Onkel hat das mir nicht erzählt. Es kommen so viele verschiedene, also Busse mit verschiedenen Liniennummern. Different route numbers will be there. He didn't tell me that. So another one. So let's ask. So he asked, my brother asked. Die gleiche Antwort, Kopfschütteln. Not directly like this, aber in this manner. Okay. Dann haben mein Bruder und ich entschieden, wir gehen zu Fuß. Wir waren noch jung. I'm talking about something like 40 years back. Wir waren noch jung und wir haben uns gesagt, wir gehen zu Fuß. Okay. Every bus that we had asked, plus other route numbers, they all passed us on the way, on that road, overtook us when we were walking. We kept watching and everyone was going. And my brother and I would look at each other. This bus is here, this one is here, this one is here. Then we reached our destination in about half an hour's walk, not too far. We reached our destination. Of course, fortunately, uncle had not yet arrived. So we were waiting for him. So, and then we found out two things. Erstens, that place where we caught the bus was a one-way road. So every bus on that route would have reached where we had reached walking. Erstens, every bus or any vehicle on that road would have come to that point where we were supposed to meet our uncle. Because it is a one-way road. Einbahnstraße. First thing. Number two, this in Hyderabad is yes. And this in Hyderabad is no. You have to understand the small change of angle in the head.
I think this is true in Germany also. Normally we say in India for yes. But when we nod our head, they don't understand. They say,
It's
hey, why are you?
Nicken. Also auf Deutsch heißt es nicken. Das ist ja sagen. Nicken, ja. Schütteln, also so. Schütteln bedeutet nein sagen. Also das war weder schütteln noch nicken.
That's what say. They are first and they asked, "Do you agree?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." Then why are you disagreeing? I said, "No, I am agreeing." Then they say, "No, you're nodding your head. So we thought you're not accepting."
You have to nod here, not shake.
Yeah.
Schütteln ist shake. Okay. Noch ein Beispiel und das passiert auch heute bei mir sehr oft. If you ask an auto rickshaw driver, auto rickshaws, all of us are, I think, familiar with auto rickshaws. Wir sind auch dieser Dreiräder, Tuk-Tuk auf Deutsch heißen sie. Yeah, so so when you ask a person here in Hyderabad, will you come to the station or will you drop me? Are you willing to take me to the station? He just looks at you and with his eyes he does this. Only the movement with the eyes left. Just left. Can you see that? He's sitting there and you asked him, Chalna hai, station. and you're waiting there. You're waiting for a response, but he's already given the response with his eyes. By going
Yeah,
to the,
yeah, yeah.
he's telling you sit
Yes,
down.
sir.
That's all. Sit. How do I know this language? Eh?
It means yes, you can come in, and we
Yeah, but
can go. Yeah,
how do I know he's not suffering from some eye problem?
right, sir. Right.
See, these are the misverständnisse that are there. And then what happens is he waits for me. Since I'm not getting in, he thinks I'm not interested and he goes away.
Right.
So Missverständnisse gibt es überall. So when we're talking about Menschen heute, Heimat und Menschen und Sprachproblemen, also da sind auch Probleme hier. Ganz interessant. So, es gibt so viele, die wir dann teilen könnten miteinander. So interkulturelle Missverständnisse. Das war eigentlich hier als ein Thema. Und wenn man solche Themen diskutiert, die sind hier einige Redemittel, which one can use. So bei uns gilt es sehr unhöflich, wenn man, ich habe gelesen, dass man in etc. etc. Yeah, for example, in vielen Staaten in Indien, Bundesstaaten in Indien, the turban, was sage ich hier, was man den Kopf herum wickelt. Yeah, the turban is a sign of respect. Yeah, this in German also it's turban. I think it's masculine, they're turban. So it's a sign of respect on your head. It's your pride, it's your prestige, it's your status, alles. Abroad, when you greet somebody, you take off your hat. Hut auf. Hut up. Hut auf, putting it on. Hut up, taking your hat off. So you greet somebody like, Good Morgen. So up und auf, wieder. This is a form of respect. In India, amongst these tribes, if I take my turban away, it's a sign of subjugation. Then that means I tell this person, I am your slave. You don't take your turban off. It's to be worn very, very proudly. And somebody giving you a turban, presenting you a turban and putting it on your head means that person respects you a lot.
I think normally in Rajasthani marriage, even they
Not
give the
just
turban
marriage.
to all the visitors.
They do, and the colors of the turbans are different because each tribe is different in Rajasthan. The way they tie it and the colors used to tie the turban are also different.
Because I visited one of my Rajasthani friends' marriage. They gave me the turban when I entered. So,
yeah. And the colors are different. The design, the pattern, the colors are different. And then one more cultural element by uns, presenting a shawl. I think it's there all over.
yeah.
You present a shawl, a silk shawl or something is presented to the person who is being honored. Therefore,
Nowadays it's more in politics.
yeah, but it's given to people of high stature who are very well respected. They're given a shawl. They are put around their shoulders. So these are in Kleinigkeiten. So it's not a question of, I don't want the shawl. I've got lots of cardigans and suits at home. I've got several suits with me. No. Shawl I don't want. It's a total misverständnis here. The shawl is not given to you for your protection against the cold. You're being honored with that. So
in my constituency, the previous MP was my classmate.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I visit his house, he gives me, you take the shawls. I see there is a small hill of shawls at his home.
Naturally, he has plenty to spare. Yeah? So here when you go around narrating these are the Redewendungen one could use, possibly. Als ich einmal in so und so war, ist mir was Lustiges passiert, ist mir was Unangenehmes passiert. Something unangenehm. Angenehm,
Pleasant.
pleasant, or unangenehm, something unpleasant happened.
Unpleasant.
Und then you also can narrate, wir hatten einmal Besuch von Freunden aus und so weiter und so weiter. And then you narrate that. So a few opening remarks, a few statements, which will be of use when you're narrating something, not necessarily Missverständnisse. These are patent openings. Don't start off straight away. Ein Freund von, come on, give a small introduction. Ja, also ich möchte euch oder ich möchte dir etwas ganz Lustiges erzählen, etwas Unangenehmes erzählen, was mir passiert ist. I found some very strange customs and which are also close to us. In Siberia, for example, I'd gone out bird watching. After the conference over, I escaped from there, called up a local Russian, got in touch with him over the internet, asked him if he can take me bird watching. He came with his old car, a very old German car, Russian car, Zephyr. So I got into his car and then we drove off. The first thing I knew in the car, it was a very silent handshake and getting in silently. Then I tried to speak to him. He just looked at me blankly. Then he tells me in excellent English, no English. I said, what? No English? Your email, your English, good. He understood that. So huge smile on his face and says, looked at me and says, Google Translate. That's all. Google Translate. I said, oh God, I'm bird watching with this fellow and he's going to tell me anything and everything in Russian. How the hell do I understand him? But he had a very clever way. He started identifying birds using the Latin names, the scientific classification. So I knew exactly which bird he was talking about. So we had a good time. And somehow we managed to communicate, me in English and German and he in Russian. So we had lunch together somewhere in that Siberian wilderness. And when I'd bought lunch for us, I thought the minimum I can do. He refused to take money for the petrol. So when I bought lunch for us and we shared that lunch, we put the lunch on the bonnet of the car. I gave a plate to him and a plate to me. Cultural, watch this and listen, please. I found it fascinating. He took the plate in his hand, went to a tree which was growing just beside the road, stood there with the plate in his hand, bowed his head, took some items from the plate. There was some rice and some bread and things. He took that and gave it to the tree, put some around the base of the tree, came back, and then looked at me, smiled, and says, now we can eat. Siberia. So I did the same. I followed suit because we do this also in our country, offering food to our ancestors. And that's what I found out later. So if he's followed the custom, why not? It looked like a good thing to do. Obviously, the food would be consumed by some creatures. Fascinating. So this was slightly close to what we have in our culture. So I liked it. So this particular thing is, als ich einmal in Sibirien war, ist mir etwas ganz Seltsames passiert. And then I explain this to you in German. So Redemittel, wie man die Redemittel bei solchen Ereignissen, bei solchen Erzählungen braucht. That is what is about here. Let's learn to speak like this. Mark pages like these, which have these Redemittel for you to talk about. Use them in language. They add to the beauty of the language and to your vocabulary. Okay? So, Fragen?
9, sir.
Nice.
Okay. Then, do we have time? Oh, the site is shown. Oh, man. Okay, we have Machen weiter than Morgan. There's one very nice text here, wie man etwas versteht. I have a suggestion for you people, eine Leseübung für euch. Es lässt sich ganz schnell lesen. Das ist der Text hier auf dieser Seite Nummer 13. Dieser Text hier, die Sonnenbrillenanalogie, Seite 13 im PDF. Wahrscheinlich, das ist Seite 12 in dem Buch. Einen Moment. Ja, Seite 12 in dem Buch. Also diejenigen, die das Buch haben, das ist Seite 12. Und für uns alle, die mit dem PDF arbeiten, das ist Seite 13. It's a very small text. Die Sonnenbrillenanalogie. So, would you be able to find some time to read this text?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you could, that would be wonderful. And then tell me what it is about. The usual our usual rules apply. No referring to any dictionaries or help from anywhere in any form to understand the words.
Okay, this without that is own external help. External. What is the word for external?
Extern.
Okay, own external help. Okay.
Yeah. In any form.
External, yeah.
Okay, sir, verstanden.
Read it on your own. See whether you can understand.
Yeah.
Yeah? So we are challenging ourselves that we can survive without the help of a dictionary, without the help of a guide, a teacher, or anybody, and we can read and understand the text on our own. Remember, we will be on our own in the exam. And those texts will be unknown texts. Then we'll see what we have understood hier, was wir hier verstanden haben. Da gibt es hier 4 Fragen. Wir können dann auf diese Fragen morgen eine Antwort finden und dann weiter. Let's start building up our confidence. Ganz von Anfang an. Anfang des Buches an. B2. If you start from today itself, believe me, by the time we finish this book in another 2.5 months, we should not have any problems when it comes to the exam.
Toy.
Toy. Einverstanden.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Sean. Then
Ja,
you can
so,
stop the recording, please. Yeah.
so verabschieden wir hier uns.
Ja, Sir.
Ja, einen Moment. Gibt es noch Fragen? Hat jemand noch Fragen?
Ja, Sir. Einen Moment bitte.
Ja, Moment.
Ja, Sir. Ich habe Fragen von der Vasu. Vasu, please send me the possessive Übungen. The Sir has
Okay.
geschickt.
All right. Send it to Kushi. So Kushi, is it okay?
Yeah.
I can forward that to
Yeah,
you. Okay.
I
Then
will send
okay.
that.
The same
Yeah,
mail.
danke.
Same mail which I
Vielen
sent to
Dank.
Kushi, I'll forward it to you. No
Yeah,
issues.
thank you very much.
Kushi, then
Just
when we are going to practice and we will take